Langston, 2 years ago, you guys were 2-10. Now you guys are 5-0 and going into a game that's featuring College Game Day. Just how special is it when you hear that that you guys are able to play on this big of a national stage?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. That's what I came here for. That's what I came here for out of college. I followed Coach Lee when he came here from Notre Dame because I believed in him. I believed in his vision, and I believe he's the best defensive mind in all of college football. So I knew we'd get here one day, and it was definitely a long, hard process in the beginning. Me and Coach Lee joke around a little bit, like a little too many lessons learned there in the middle. But, we're here now, so we just got to take advantage of our opportunity that we have.
Obviously, your dad played for Alabama. What was it like in your house when you beat him last year?
Oh, he's all Vanderbilt. He's been all Vanderbilt since me and my older brother Kane got here. When I leave, maybe I'll go back and maybe be a little bit more of a rivalry. But he's a full-on Vandy fan, and will be rooting for me at the top of his lungs.
Langston, just given last year's result, is that a talking point at all? Or is it just full focus onto this weekend?
No, the era of college football we are in now, it's the transfer portal era. We got a new team. They got a new team. We've gotten so much better, and we're assuming they've gotten better. So it's just taking that attitude every day, going to work. It's not about them or Alabama football. It's about us and what we can do to put the best possible team out there.
Obviously, within the team, you guys knew how the program build was going under Coach Lee. But how do you think beating Alabama last year maybe changed outside perceptions of Vanderbilt?
I think it was like a oh crap moment for everybody else. Like, we knew where we were headed, we knew where we were going, and we knew it was only a matter of time before we showed the world what we could do. The good thing is still nobody believes that we can do it again at Bama and stuff like that. And so every day we're just a chip on our shoulder team, and we're going out there not to prove it to anybody else, but we don't care, but just to kind of put Vanderbilt on the map. It's the best school. It's in the SEC. It's in Nashville. Great fan base, great culture, great coaches. And so for us, it's about just going out there, having fun, and proving it to ourselves.
Was that win sort of proof of concept within the team, like this really is working?
Not necessarily. We have belief that it's worked the whole time. Even when it doesn't go our way, you saw a really close Missouri game, and they were a top 5 team, and we should have won, and we believe we should have won. And we were in the locker room after that game, like, guys, we should have won that. Let's go beat Bama. Like, in the past, that was the biggest difference in the past. Like, my first 2 years, it was like, oh, like everyone felt sorry for themselves and all that. In the locker room after the Mizzou game, it was like, let's go beat Bama next week. Like, we have another opportunity. Let's just, you got bucked off the horse, just get back on and keep riding.
You all gave up 35 points to Utah State. What is it that needs to kind of change within the defense to, when you had to head into Alabama?
Yeah, Utah State, credit to them. They had some tricky stuff, and they came at us. There's a bunch of stuff that you can, if you just look at the scoreboard, you can be like, oh, 35 points, but then you just didn't watch the whole game. We at the end there, we were trying to get some of our younger guys reps, and they caught 2 touchdowns, and that's great work for them. They need to get reps in real game situations and stuff like that. And then you see how the defense went 3 and out 2 times in a row, aggressive on block kicks, questionable calls on the punts. 2 times we went 3 and out, and they were able to get the ball back both those times on the 30-yard line. That's a tough, tough deal for us. But kind of the biggest thing we learned coming out of that game is just we got to be more disciplined in the war zone. When they get down to the 25-yard line, they're going to try to pick us. They're going to try to get our eyes going another way and, rub somebody off. So what we learned is we just got to have that discipline and that focus, down there when it gets tight and they're about to go score.
Last time you guys went there, you guys got blown out. You mentioned the mindset change. Is there more of a sense of we can go there and compete now than there was a couple years ago?
Yeah, and the word's not even compete. If you're a competitor and you played sports, you're going down there to dominate. You're going out there to give it your all no matter what. When I get back on the bus, I don't want to be able to feel my shoulder, feel my neck. I don't want to be able to walk the next morning. I want to go out there, give everything I got, and I want to go dominate.
Alabama's offense, they have plenty of receivers and weapons. Just from a defensive perspective, how challenging is it to prepare for an offense that has plenty of players to account for?
Yeah, they got a ton of weapons, and preparing for teams that maybe do a little bit more like eye tricky stuff, like Utah State, can be more challenging, but the game's going to be more challenging, and just kind of the speed difference that you go from practice to the game. So for us, it's just going to be all about starting fast. Like, you're not going to get Ryan Williams out here running a post route on you. So it just can't surprise you when it gets to Saturday. So, you know, staying on top of routes like 5 yards, just because in a game that's going to come on you a little bit quicker. So it's more just about the game speed and practice speed. That's the biggest difference this week.
Last year, Stephen Hubbard had the infamous quote, like, if it's not about beating Bama, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Is it kind of the same way this year?
Yeah, it's the same way. You know, we've taken every week one by one. You know, we didn't overlook Utah State. There was no talk about Bama last week, and there's no talk about LSU this week, or there's not talk about 5-0. Like, that's all what the world wants to say, and like that outside this facility. But this week, it's all about Bama, all about 0-0, and all about going down to Tuscaloosa and giving it everything we got.
How cool is it to be a part of a game that's game day?
Yeah, it's awesome. I've honestly never gotten to experience it here. And this is just what you kind of dream of, you know, the biggest stage, the best players, like this is it. So this is where kind of real players are made.